This is the Protek 608 digital multimeter. I've been developing a Java software library for this to interpret the protocol. So this sends data 2 times a second. It also, you can send data back to work these buttons up here and turn the backlight on and off and things like that. Now, I've been working on a Java library for this because the meter is now obsolete. You can't buy it new, but it's a good meter. I like this meter, and it's a good meter with the dual display, 5000 count, and the 485, the 232 interface, and the data logging capabilities. Problem is, the original software doesn't run on your operating system. So I've tried it on Windows 8, Windows 10, won't run. The original software was developed for Windows 3.1, 95, 98, and Windows XP. Now, I remembered that we had this old work laptop kicking around here at the office, and it runs Windows XP. So I haven't seen this software before that came with this. I've just been sort of developing my own one separately. But now that I've dug this thing out of the back cupboard, I'm going to install the Protek software and run that up, and we'll take a look at it. But before I get ahead with that, I've got this to deal with. So this laptop hasn't been on for about 3 years, I think. So it's got a bunch of updates that it just started doing. It's been updating the antivirus software and all this sort of carry on, and it's really slow. So I won't drag that out for you guys. We'll cut back to me installing the software. So I actually cancelled Windows Update. So I was waiting for like an hour and I couldn't be bothered anymore. So I've actually plugged the meter in. It's plugged into the serial port on the back of the computer. It's not a USB serial port, it's a native serial port. And here we go. Here's the software. I've got to install this, so set up. Sounds good. Okay, this is very old school. All right, we'll just straighten C drive. Sounds good. Installation complete. Excellent. So there's the shortcut icon. I'm going to run that. Should turn on the meter. And I also need to, I'll just turn the light on there, that might make it a bit easier. I also need to enable the 485. Oh, overflow. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Oh, there it is. All right, menu. It's 485 option. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so now I should be able to set the COM port. I'm not sure which COM port it is. Do I need to connect? Ah, might be COM1. Connect. All right, we're on. So you might be able to see the sort of update speed there. Now this screen, I can drag it bigger, but it doesn't look like that actually does anything. There's a graph down the bottom there. As you can see, dragging the window doesn't really help at all. And I can't maximize, so it's sort of like this weird static screen size or window size. Let me zoom in and then we'll have a look at that. I'll just set this to millivolts so we get some more numbers on the screen. So this is the interface, and as you can see, there's some buttons here, and they basically replicate these buttons down here in the bottom of the meter. So if I click, say for example, light, see the light comes on, and I can also enter the menu and click around and do things like that. So these are all documented in the manual as well, and these are things that I've already implemented in my Java library. But it's interesting just to see how they display the figures here and how they go about their interface. Like I said, I haven't seen this software before, so this is all ideas for me. There's obviously a lot of things I can improve, like this is a very old school static size window and things, but functionality is where it's important for these sort of things. So you see sample time is 0.5 seconds, and that doesn't change. Like that basically, it's always putting out data at 2 Hertz as far as I'm aware. There's a date time. So I wonder if I can just start this chart here down the bottom. Does that do something? Oh, there we go. You can see down here, it's starting to chart that. There's nothing connected to this at the moment. It's just running on millivolts, so it's picking up the sort of noise, I guess. You can see that reacting there. Can stop that. Now it's thinking about something, I don't know what. Okay. And clear that. Setup. Okay, so I can actually set the range of the axes, the y-axis, and then x-axis readings, I guess that is. It's like the number of readings that will store. So I'm guessing it's that divided by 2 will give you seconds. So that's 180, that's 3 minutes, I guess. Sounds good. And what's this here? Log data. Screen print. Is that print screen? It stopped. Oh, hang on, it's doing something again. See, it stopped refreshing. Printing. I think it's literally trying to print. Print error. It's actually tried to print the screen. Wow. Oh, it just crashed. Alright, let me just fire that up again. This is all very clunky and buggy. I'm pretty optimistic now that my software is going to be an improvement on this, I think. Alright, let's go again. So, actually I want to see what outputs. If I go to, let's have a look. So I've got it on basically continuity test mode. So you can hear that. So if I connect the meter again, I want to see what the display says. Because it's showing open, see it showing open on the screen here. So it's showing that there as well. Alright. If I touch the probes together. Cool. And let's see what happens on the chart if we do that. Now obviously this is showing open, so on the chart it's going to show like infinite sort of resistance or something. I'm not sure. Maybe it doesn't chart this. Yeah, it looks like it doesn't chart in this mode. It's interesting. Alright, let's change back to millivolts. Hit start again. Okay, so now it's active. You could see the axes adjust there and you can see the value coming through. Now I'm interested to see what this, oh, is this like a go or no go or something maybe? Open file name, or is it, reading value, unit, time, function. Sampling time, 0.5 second. Well, that's just what the, let's try and go faster, 0.1 second. See, that doesn't, like the meter just, it's always just throwing out packets of data at the same time. Like, as far as I'm aware, this is maybe like what the software is sampling at, but it's not going to speed up the meter at all. If I go 2 seconds, you can see the meter's still going at full speed being 2 Hertz, and it's just slowed down the interface. So that might be useful just for data logging, because I think if you look at this, it's sort of limited to this number here. So if you slow down your sample rate, maybe you get more readings. I'll just close that. Sample rate, let's set that back to its default, which was 0.5. Alright, we're back again. Graph color. Yep, okay, that's cool. I'll leave that. Printer. This is what crashed the program previously when I tried to do a print screen here, or screen print. Okay, this doesn't look good. Have I done it again? I think it's bombed out. Oh, no, there it goes. Great. So that's basically it, is it? Exit. What is this? I want to know what this does. Screen print and print. Graph. These are just buttons on them. This is just like controlling the multimeter. It's nothing to do with this here really. I mean, it's literally just operating these buttons here. You can see the buttons there and the buttons here. So that's really got nothing to do with this interface, but I'm interested to see how this works. Save? Okay. Duh, of course, yeah, I've got to tell it to start saving. That's not obvious enough. Yeah, so it's literally just saving a DAT file. Okay, so you just like enable and just, oh, or it exists. No, don't do that. Let's see where this file's going. C drive straight in the folder there. Okay, look like it's doing that anyways. Let's have a look. I'm going to just quickly, I'll zoom you out here. I just want to see what that DAT file looks like. Okay, here we go. Let's go. So it's literally, it's almost like a CSV without the commas. It's literally just, boom, outputting data like that. So in my Java library, I haven't included CSV output, but I've programmed a GUI that uses my Java library, which does output CSV, like proper CSV, not just like a you know, tabbed or spaced data. It's the proper comma format. That's interesting. So it's pretty basic. In actual fact, my software already has more features. I mean, it doesn't have a graph, and that's one thing that is really useful in these sort of data logging applications. Go away. But it does, I do have some other little features, like it will continually, as it's reading, it will continually log the min, max, average, samples, and all that sort of carry on. So it does some statistics, which this software currently doesn't do. But this software does have a graph. It is rather limited in its time frame. Like it looks like you got 1,800 samples and that sort of it. But that's really it. I'm just going to flick through the rotary switch here and just see how it's displaying things. You can see it's dual display, same as on the meter. You've got two displays here. Microamp, milliamp, amp. Alt function. See, I can also do that here as well. I go alt function, alt function. Now, one thing they don't represent, which I know is in the protocol, is this horizontal bar graph, which is a little bit of a weird one because it's done like in bits and bytes, so it's all choppy all the way through. It's not like a linear sort of thing. But they don't represent that on the screen, although that data is in the protocol. It does output all the little segments for this bar chart, as far as I'm aware. Interesting, okay. And now if I go through, for example, I'll put up to millivolts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting on min, max, and average figures on the meter and see if they show up on the screen here. So if I go menu, yep, you can see this is exactly what's showing up on the multimeter. So you see the menu system comes up, and that represents it there as well. So if I go, let's go average, enter. So there's now averaging. Yep, very good. Cool. So I think that's about it. That about wraps it up. This is the Protek 608 version 1.02 original software on Windows XP. Now, if you'd like to check out details on the software library that I've been developing, I'll put links down below and maybe something on the screen here so you can click through to that. It's on GitHub, it's fully open source, so you can check it out. If you also check out my blog, I've got a lot of details about how the protocol in the 608 works, and how I've decoded that and all of those sort of things too. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, check it out. Thanks very much.